Well, in home ed now, I'm taught by either virtual learning, like with virtual tutors, like Gecko. I basically have 6 hours a week.
6 hours a week.
6 hours a week of Gecko. The self-led GCSE work, I've already got a GCSE in psychology, and I'm working towards one getting maths, further maths or higher maths, statistics and biology next year. As I say, I've just come back from forest school, which I go to 2 times a week, which is really good because you get to set stuff on fire and or fill your wellies with water, whatever says fancy on whichever day. And then I go to circus, which is very good for proprioception and basically stimming it all out. I get to do a lot of interest-led subjects. For example, I have this tutor on Mondays and Tuesdays who we've been talking for the past few sessions, and now I've literally mentioned it once last session, but now we're going to be 3D modelling a character from a game that I really like. And I like how I can basically just follow the interests. For example, I mentioned earlier that I had a psychology GCSE. That was, if I was going to go to the secondary school that was like supposedly I was meant to go to, I wouldn't be allowed to take it this early, and even if I was at the right age, that isn't an option.
I think that was the one sort of big surprise to me, that you have the ability to come down here, do biology or psychology or whatever it is for like 6 hours straight and just get it done. Whereas I think that chopping and changing between different subjects and that transitioning throughout the day, it isn't hyper focused, it isn't monotropic, it isn't interest led, and it isn't really how autistic people thrive. I also think fundamentally the difference to like kids that are home educated is that you're not forced to be around hundreds of people.
All the neurotypicals.
Or just anyone. You're not forced to be around anyone for 25 hours a week. When we went into lockdown with when it COVID in 2020, Zed was underweight, Zed was covered in hives.
It wasn't because of COVID, they just specified.
Their mental health was poor. And I thought some of these were medical, and then quite a lot of it disappeared a fortnight into lockdown, and at which point you know it's not medical because nothing else changed, just the environment. But Zed looks like an entirely different human being, not just because they're 3 years older, but because they're now all right. You know how burnt out and unwell they are until you stop.
I had to spend 8 in the toxic system, and as Bob says, it breaks you, and it does. I can't. For my second paper of my GCSE, I had to walk in a place that looked like a school, and I just had a panic attack. I broke down, I melted down, I just couldn't breathe because I couldn't cope with something that even looked like a school. Shut up and listen. It's the main thing. And it's the main message that it's been going on for ages, because we can tell you what we need and we can tell you what you need to provide, but if you don't listen and then keep going, oh, well, they're doing bad in there, well, like, that's no surprise because we've told you that this needs to happen in order for it to be okay.
I think if staff in all schools had autistic or neurodivergent led training and they actually prioritised that and they stopped looking for X solution to fix Bobby who's disturbing their class and being inconvenient to them, whilst also forgetting Jenny who happens not to be disturbing their class but still isn't all right, and just actually look at the whole environment, the whole curriculum, and what they can work with. This kind of bespoke education that Zed has, or even electively home educating, is a privilege. Not everyone can do this. Not everyone works from home. Not everyone has the ability within their families to make that decision. Some people are genuinely trapped in the system until either it ends or they fall into a level of burnout and crisis that's not manageable for their families anymore, and then somebody has to change or quit their job.
To be self-employed. Basically, so because of I have lots of things that I'm good at, and I have lots of things that I want to do, but they change each day. So then I have the freedom to be like a lip syncing aerialist one day, and then the next day I'm performing something over there.